Welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Spiral, episode 32, title Halfway, No House. Again, title reflects the fact that we are halfway through the football season. Feels like yesterday football just started, but obviously, time does fly. And now we're literally, well, at the time of recording this, we're literally 2 days away from November. Um, now, actually, matter of fact, y'all know who I'm joined by. Y'all know I'm joined by Cam, Moody. I don't necessarily know if our boss Artie is supposed to be here, but I think he's here. I guess he's here. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but
He
how
don't
y'all
like us.
boys doing? How y'all fellas doing? How y'all living? How's life treating y'all?
Bad. People don't want to catch things.
Hey, bro. Should be like that. Shit happens sometimes.
No, it doesn't. Not 4 times. Not 4 different times. No.
Listen, bro. Sometimes life gonna drag you through the mud.
So far,
No. Four different times.
Hey,
They
look,
gifted it to you 4 times.
I
doing
mean, shit
good, living
ruthless. Shit
good, ready to
ruthless.
talk some ball.
Brother Moody, how
Let's
you
get to
doing?
it.
How you living? All right, let's get into it. We're gonna start off with our icebreaker, which is obviously we've been halfway through the season. The best games have yet to come so far, but what's your favorite game so far of this season?
Well, I got two. Obviously, from my personal, because I'm a Ravens fan. So for the Ravens versus Bengals game, even though I was living through an internal battle at work while watching that game, came out on top. But as far as non-Ravens game, actually, I enjoyed that first um, Ravens Buccaneers. I mean, not Ravens, Falcons Buccaneers matchup a lot. I really liked watching that game. It was very
Yeah, I
entertaining.
think for
Hey, that's a great game. That's a great
I
game.
think for me it was
Moody, what's your
Bengals
favorite
Commanders
game,
on Monday
Gango?
Night Football, the Jaden Daniels breakout party. It was a really really high scoring game. We saw incredible offense on both sides of the ball, and we got to see the showcase of the rookie quarterback and the probably still your front runner for rookie of the year, but Caleb is starting to come on strong. But yeah, that was real. That was really the breakout performance that get into the big storyline of the season, which is what Washington has been doing in the NFC and the NFC East.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, y'all. Unfortunately, Cam did steal mine, but that Falcons Buck game was arguably one of the best games I've really that right there. That was a game it's funny because normally Thursday night football games are kind of ass, but that right there that was elite ball right there. Drake London was going crazy. Darnell Mooney was going crazy. Darnell Mooney dropped I think like 2 touchdowns in that game too, which was kind of crazy. That game was just it was high flying. It was that game was everything. That was a beautiful, fantastic game. All right.
Shout out
Ooh.
Kadero Hodge.
Shout out Kadero Hodge for being Atlanta's savior, and shout out Atlanta for teaching Kirk Cousins how to swag surf.
Oh God, Carco Chain.
All right, time to get into our next question or the next slide we're getting into. Now we know halfway through the season, there honestly, if you look at the draft order, there's a lot of bad teams. Like obviously the Panthers are 1-7, but like there's a lot of 2-6, 3-5, or 3-4, 3-5. There's a lot of like horrendous teams. There's a lot of them. But which teams should just pack it in and be looking forward into the draft, aka tanking and looking to get the players that I guess they feel like is going to turn their franchise around?
Yeah,
The Jets.
Poor
Now,
dude.
obviously, are they actually going to do that? No, but they should have just went ahead and just cut their losses while they could. but instead y'all doubled down and traded for Devontae Adams. I I get it. I guess y'all think y'all are in whatever window, because I'm not gonna call that a Super Bowl window. But at the same time, y'all gotta understand that you had y'all chance, y'all missed it. Some of it was due to your own misfortune. Some of it was also due to just genuine misfortune. But I don't think that they're going to be able to keep a lot of the talent that they have on this roster. I think they should go ahead and just offload some of it and see if they can get back some draft capital, especially if they can somehow grab them a quarterback who may not necessarily have to play early next year and can sit behind and learn Aaron Rodgers. But I guess at that point you're just hoping that he gets pissed enough to be a two-time MVP again, which would be pretty funny if he did it, but I just don't see that happening. So I think the Jets should start selling some pieces. Um, like I'm sure they could offload. Well, I don't know if he's probably not healthy. That's probably why I haven't traded him yet. But they could offload C.J.
DJ
Mosley.
Reed, a free
They
agent.
could probably offload Chuck Clark to grab something. They can't lose any offensive linemen, unfortunately. Um, yeah, I would say
Oh,
go
forgot
ahead
about that.
and move off of DJ Reed instead of just letting him walk for nothing. Unless y'all do resign him. I mean, he's had a great tenure for the New York Jets, so I might as well see if you can grab something out of it. He's been damn near elite. You can argue playing opposite of Sauce Gardner. So y'all definitely have some pieces that y'all can move on from. But will y'all do it?
I
I
think
don't
for
know.
me,
Ask Woody Johnson.
it's the low hanging fruit. Dallas should be taking, and they kind of are in secret world, but they're not really doing it out loud for the rest of the world to see. But they have, I think, two or three guys who could probably move for early day three, late day two picks, and this is a team that isn't going to participate in free agency, isn't going to participate in the trade market. They need blue chip talent in order to add to their roster. That's the only way that team's going to get better. And they can't do it picking 15 to 25. They need to be finding a way to pick in the top 10 and adding the top 3 to 5 players on their board because that's the only way this team's going to be successful. So, Zach Martin, Jordan Lewis. It's a shame that Tank's going to be hurt through the trade deadline, so he's not really movable. But let's see who else would be movable on that team. Osa teams might like Osa Digazua and attacking 4-3 front. So yeah, there's a couple of guys that they could offload in order to one give their rookies more time on the field. If somebody wants Eric Kendricks, I can see that as well. But mostly because this is a team that isn't constructed to win right now, and because of the way they operate in the offseason, they need to be losing honestly in order to gain the talent that they need because chasing 8 wins, 9 wins is pointless because you're going to stay in the same spot for years and years at a time.
Mm. What do you mean? Jeff
Oh
Fisher always got better. What are you talking about?
man.
Jeff Fisher, the king of 8-8 right there. Jeff Fisher, the king of 8-8. But honest, I mean, obviously I agree with Moody's point. Dallas definitely like again, we know they're tanking. They're just doing it in funny fashion, but they're tanking in reality. If y'all don't know, go check out Jeff Kavanaugh's video. He broke it down perfectly. Like he uploaded it today, or October 30th today. But he explained it perfectly on how they're tanking, why they're tanking, and probably their setup for what they're gonna try to do. That's if they do it correctly, it could work, but I don't know how correctly they're gonna do it. But
5.
I'm picking one of the teams on the screen here, and it's a team that should have probably tanked, arguably, how many years ago now? 5 years ago?
5 years ago.
Five,
Five.
5 years ago,
Yes,
and
we
yeah,
already know.
yeah, y'all already know the Saints should have tanked 5 years ago. Like they should have been offloading people, but like they're stuck in this infinite loop of we're almost $100 million over the cap. We got to get down. We get down. We can't add any extra talent. Somehow they end up adding extra talent, which I don't know how. I don't know why. And they're just fucking themselves over already, over and over and over. It's actually getting annoying at this point. Like y'all were 2-0, ain't won a game since. Ain't won a game since y'all beat Dallas and since y'all had that parade. The season has gone to shit.
I
It is
think
time to tank. It's
another
time.
team that could
No,
be on
but
this
they won
list,
the
just
Super
to
Bowl.
throw another one in there, Cincy. It's a team that should really be considering it. I know, like, based on, like, they were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They just paid Joe Burrow. It doesn't feel like a team that wants to tank, but T. Higgins is walking. Like, the defense is so bad. The defense is so bad. I think, like, offload Hendrickson
The
to
defense is abysmal.
a
That
team that could
defense is
use another
abysmal.
edge rusher and
The
go
defense
get
is
your
awful.
6 to 7 wins, which is probably their ceiling at this point. And they need to add blue chip talent too, because T. Higgins is probably walking. Like, Zach Moss has been a fine player, but they don't really have a bunch of extra versatility on that offense at the tight end position, at the wide receiver position, at the running back position. They don't have any big time talent there. And then defensively, they could use the offensive line too. Like, and then defensively, you could pick a position and they need help because it's
They need
the
to keep
entire
building that
defense.
offensive
So
line too.
Cincinnati's a team that, like Dallas, kind of like AFC Dallas in the way they operate in terms of they don't really get involved in free agency. They don't get too involved in the trade market. They're really a team that's trying to win with their core that they're drafting. You gotta get the best draft picks possible if you're not competing for a championship. And Cincinnati got to see early that they're probably not competing for one.
I just said, I was like, Moody throwing a sneaky one.
Yeah.
A sneaky one. Right now, technically, I know they're in playoff contention. I know the division is tough. Seattle low key should be kind of considering it. They should be kind of considering it. They've always been stuck in this loop of like, we're borderline playoff team. We're not really good enough to like. We might win a game. We might win the wild card game. We're not good enough to like get out of the divisional, and they've just been stuck in this constant loop, and they've been kind of pushing themselves back on drafting a quarterback. Now, granted, this year the quarterback class is kind of it's a little scary. It's getting a little better, obviously, because Cam Ward and Shador keep showing off, and Jalen Milroe, he's been a little up and down, but they got to find themselves a future quarterback because they really kind of don't have anything outside of Geno. Like, they got Sam Howell. Sam Howell's cool, but we've seen Sam Howell start before. We've seen him throw a shit ton of interceptions. I don't know if they really want that, but yeah, that's just my little 2 cents on them as well. But like I said, everybody gave good answers. Great fucking answers. We're gonna move on to, I actually kind of forgot, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, there we go. The Texans. The Texans, man. This was arguably some people's team to beat. And injuries have definitely caught up to them. We'll say that. Nico Collins, I don't think has played since week like 4. I think
Yeah,
it's like
he's
week
still
4,
on
week
bye.
3. So Nico Collins ain't played since week 4 or week 3. I think he's eligible to come off now, but he was dealing with soft tissue hamstring after catching a deep bomb. I know Tank Dell missed. I think he's missed a game already. I think 1 or 2 games maybe. He ain't missed too many, but he's missed a game, 2 games. Now they lose Diggs for the rest of the year with an ACL injury, non-contact. Prayers up for brother Diggs, and we will never ever get the Diggs versus Diggs matchup. Unfortunately, we just won't. We just won't get it.
We
But
know Offset's happy.
goodness gracious, goodness gracious. But what happens to the Texans offense? With the absence of Diggs, what happens? Do they suffer from a drop off? Do you think CJ Stroud can alleviate something? What y'all fellas thinking?
Um, Obviously, I do feel like there will be a drop off with Diggs not being there. But to be fair, the the Texans do have a uniquely deep wide receiver room because they spent a lot of high picks on talent, and it's kind of going to be the time for them to show their work. Obviously, you had Mechie. Um, who's the kid? Is it Xavier Tillman? There was a kid they took from Iowa State a couple years ago. I can't remember his name,
I can't remember
but
his name neither. Damn, I was a big fan.
but
Xavier Hutchinson.
Hutchinson, that's what it was. Yeah, because I know he was a really good run blocker. Time to see what he has to offer. I don't know if Nico has been activated so far. I kind of don't. If he hasn't been, I don't expect him to be activated for this late game against the Jets. But I think that they'll find a way. I mean, they still got Bobby Trees. Bobby Trees can still give you some decent snaps. Obviously, again, not on the level of Stephon Diggs. I mean, a lot of people. He's still a top 10 receiver in this league, and I know that they also lost Brevin Jordan. Uh, I want to say first game of the season. So it's definitely a tough time for them when it comes to injuries and dealing with trying to navigate through having their offensive line struggles. So I think that it's going to be tough sledding for them, but it's also the time for other people to step up. So I think that CJ Stroud definitely has it in him to get stuff out of his players. I mean, shit, he had Noah Brown looking super good when he was there. Like, so I think CJ Stroud has the type of talent to be able to help his receivers be in the right spot and throw them open. So I think there will be a drop off, but I think they'll still be okay. They're still title contenders in my opinion this year. That hasn't changed.
Mm, mm, mm. Shit, I didn't realize we left. Oh wow. Okay, so I guess I'll pick it up. Texans offense are kind of in a funny position. I think they're more drop off. At least the drop off of the struggles have more to do with Nico Collins being out necessarily. Now, granted, Diggs picking up that slack of Nico Collins. Granted, it hadn't been fully perfect, but again, Diggs still knows how to get down. Diggs still knows how to get open, beat man coverage, everything like that. So it works out. It kind of balances itself out. But obviously now that Diggs is gone, again we're basically kind of going back to it's not even rookie year. I was gonna say rookie year, but he still had Nico. I was gonna say so. We're going back to kind of rookie year Stroud, where he's got. Um, I mean, well, granted they have a better run game now, but hopefully Joe Mixon's probably going to be. Well, Joe Mixon probably already leading the league in carries by now, but he gonna be. That's more on his plate. Um, I think it's just more going to be on Slowick. We'll see if the genius of Slowick can really, I guess, affect anything. Would we just that's really the only thing we can do. Because obviously the quarterback can do only as much as he's given, or the quarterback can do only as much as he can with the given talent. It's up for that offense coordinator to make sure that talent, or at least the talent that he has, can be maximized. So I just think it's really up to Slowick. Now, will they have a drop off? Probably. I think they'll just have to start relying on the backs of that defense and praying that defense just doesn't be goofy during certain games. But yeah, it could get real critical for the Texans real quickly.
Easy. I'm just my bad. While you were talking, I was going through the injury list. I didn't realize it was this deep. So I'm only doing October. Jerry Hughes was put on injured reserve October 5th.
Mm.
They had a running back who was already on IR who had to get surgery for a torn meniscus. Nico was still on there. He hasn't suffered any setbacks, but he's not expected back until they play the Lions.
Is that next week?
Okuda's still on IR. Yeah, November 10th. So yeah,
Oh
next week.
God.
Okuda's still on IR. I didn't even know Christian Harris still hasn't been designated to come back from IR.
Mm.
Diggs obviously is gone. Damian Pierce has already been ruled out. Al-Shire has already been ruled out. Jimmy Ward has already been ruled out.
Oh my
And their
goodness.
center, Jared Patterson, has already been ruled out.
Oh my
So
God.
this is a rough stretch for the Texans. Let me see when their bye week is. They
They got late
desperately,
by week. I think theirs is 12.
yeah, they desperately need, yeah,
They need that
yeah,
bye week
that's,
to reset. Because Jesus.
yeah, no, they have the same one as us. So their bye week is week 14.
Oh, so
Yeah,
no, so.
Houston offense dropping off. I mean, I don't think you have any choice but to say yes, just based off of one. Their offense really hasn't been that good anyway. They've really been riding off of how good their defense has been. I'm not even sure if they scored 30 in a game this year. I think they've had a really hard time just consistently moving the ball up and down the field, and then especially with Nico being down, that it should get Nico back. I think next week, and that'll be a huge boon to their offense. But sans Nico, sans Diggs, like they have a really hard time moving the ball up and down the field. And Joe Mixon is still a decent player, but there's only so much explosiveness that he can provide at this stage of his career. So I definitely think the Texas offense is going to drop off in a big way without Diggs because, one, it wasn't that good anyway. And now that they're relying on receiver threes, fours, and fives and Dalton Schultz, I don't expect that to be an offense that's very explosive in the passing game, and they already don't have a super explosive offense in the run game. So Stroud's going to have to tap into whatever he was doing last year with Noah Brown and Tank Dell and those guys, and needs to figure out a way to be able to carry that offense again because it's going to be tough sledding, especially on the first place schedule.
So yeah, man, we're pretty much all in unison here that Texans offense is probably going to fall off. Um, shoot, yeah, but you know what we're all also in unison about? That bread, that money. You want to win some money? Lock in with Bet It Up with Hunter. Alrighty. Welcome back to another segment on the Sunday Spiral. Ricky Ranks. One of my favorite segments, probably my favorite segment to talk about. We got us some good games. We got us a good slate of games, fellas. What prospects or games should we be tuned in for this weekend? Obviously, we got the two big dogs. We got Ohio State, Penn State, and we got Georgia, Florida. You know, if anybody knows any other games, you know, shout out those games. But you know, if you want to talk about them two games, just talk about the prospects. You know, what y'all feeling? What y'all thinking?
So I'm gonna go ahead and take it away with talking about, my favorite position, the edge position. So obviously, big game on the left, Ohio State versus Penn State. And of course, I'm going to be tuned in to watching Abdul Carter. And then on the other side of the ball, obviously, I'm going to be tuned in to watching Jack Sawyer. And why am I blanket right?
Jack Sawyer and JT.
JT. That's what it is. I can remember
JT
his last name.
Tui Molau.
Exactly. I don't know why it's gonna sound stupid. I was somehow mixing him up into don't know why. Just random.
Hey,
Incredibly random. But as far as the offensive side of things go, is Will Johnson still out with injury?
he gonna be out for the rest of the season. At least from what I heard, I think he's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, no mind. I mean, to be honest, depending on if Texas A&M ends up starting Marcel Reed, yes, I am a South Carolina fan. I will put that out there. Obviously, I'm gonna watch this game anyway for the edge prospect of um what is it's two Shamars. I always mix them up. I know one
Shamar
of them. I
Stewart.
think it's Stewart is the edge. Okay, Stewart is the edge, and then the other edge is Nick Scourton against our very interesting South Carolina front. But obviously, on the other side of the ball, we have two very good edge rushers in ourselves, and we have a sneaky good corner prospect in my opinion, and O'Donnell Fort. Granted, do I think he'll go super high as of right now? Uh, Probably not, but I think when it's time for the combine to come around and draft test season, like all the games and stuff like Senior Bowl, or if he gets to invite East West or whatever, I think he could definitely put on some good tape and put out some good reps that would greatly improve his draft stock. So I think that's a corner to watch for South Carolina O'Donnell court. But
Hmm.
those are my personal things I'm looking out for this weekend.
Well, I mean, if I got to pick it up, to be honest with you, I mean, I'm obviously both of these two games are huge games. Offensively for Penn State, obviously I'll be watching for both their running backs, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton. Um, I think Katron Allen had a pretty good game against, I think it was Nebraska. I think that's what they played. Allen had a pretty good game. Singleton was a little quiet, but still a quality game from him as well. Ohio State, obviously, we're looking at the duo running backs of Judkins and Henderson, Igbuka as well, obviously. Um, Georgia got all them freaking people on defense. Jalen Walker, um, who's the other dude? Michael Williams.
Young Michael.
Yep, Michael Williams. I do know they're kind of tempering his usage because obviously he's coming back from injury. So they said that they only want to play him in big games, and I'd assume this is a big game, so I'd assume that he's going to play a decent amount. Shoot, yeah, I'd say yeah. Those are probably going to be the main two I'm looking for. I'm looking out for.
Ismail done for the year too.
Who is?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to say his name, but the middle linebacker from Georgia.
Oh,
I
Munden.
think his last name was Mondon. Yeah.
Munden. I do not know. I do not know. Shit. I don't know.
He
That's what I'm
changes a
saying.
lot for that defense if he can play.
I say yeah, yeah. Um, Obviously, Oregon does play Michigan. Oregon is number one. I'd love, I keep my eyes on that game as well. Looking out for Evan Stewart and honestly, Tez Johnson. Tez Johnson's been really, really good. Those two tackles, Connerly and Cornelius. And then obviously, just to plug in my Louisville fandom, definitely still watching versus Clemson. Watching Ashton Gelati, Quincy Riley, all those boys. And then honestly, game I plug, honestly, Kentucky and Tennessee. I'm looking at Dylan Sampson versus that Kentucky front, and I hope Deion Walker's playing. I have no clue, but I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on Deion Walker too versus a quality scheme in Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to watch some of that as well. 'Cause I do want to see some more tape of some more reps from JJ Weed.
All right, moving on to games of the week. I have no clue why we're talking about Bo Nix having a coming out party against the Ravens. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. It's just not. I'm just gonna keep it short, simple, and sweet. That shit's not happening. If y'all think it's gonna happen, y'all can tell me otherwise. This shit ain't happening.
Yeah, this is the Cam gaslighting that we were talking about last week. But hey,
to be fair, he was right this time.
he was right. And Cleveland got that
He
nigga.
was right this time.
I can't even hate on it. So Cam shows that this is why you take your team seriously every week instead of thinking things are gonna go the way you want them to. But I highly doubt it. Is will be my answer. I highly doubt that Bo Nixon is going to be. You had me thinking his name was Joseph for a second. That Bo Nix is going to have a coming out party against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens defense is still quality. The Broncos offense isn't very good. Nick's has had some up weeks, has some down weeks. So it's not like he's been incompetent all year. He's had some games where he's been able to make plays, but not against good defenses. And now he's going up against a quality defense of the Baltimore Ravens and rookie quarterback. Like Baltimore's ready to feast on these guys, and they can barely get their receivers involved in the offense. You're hoping really that Javonte Williams creates enough big plays that they have to focus on him, and then maybe Bo Nix can make plays off of that with play action and using his legs. That's really the only path I see. But like in terms of their ability to have a breakout game on offense, I just don't see it. Maybe in garbage time with some passing stats against backups. That's really his best path forward here. He can make the stats look good look real good at the end of the game because they're still gonna have to keep up with Lamar and the Ravens on offense, and I just can't see how they they're not going to hold Baltimore under 30, in my opinion. And that means you're going to ask Bo Nix to play a drop back passing game, and it's just not going to work for the type of way he needs to play in order to have a breakout football game. They got to be playing from ahead, and they won't be.
Yeah.
So here is how Bo Nix will 350.
Yeah, I swear to
So
God. I swear to God. I can't. This time I can't. No. I get it. The division games are weird, so I can understand. I'll let you slide on the division games. Division games are very, very funky. There's no way in hell Bo Nix is going for 350 and they win.
all right, but in all seriousness, um, obviously it's just short and sweet about what we need to maximize. We need to be able to convert better on third down. When quarterbacks are bad passes, we need to capitalize and come down with some interceptions. Like I alluded to last week, Jameis Winston was going to give you some opportunity to catch the ball. And he did. We just didn't maximize the opportunity. Now, obviously, the pass rush needs to be in Bo Nix's face. Y'all didn't really have the best pounding. So hopefully that lights a fire up under y'all and y'all go bully the group. And I'm gonna just keep it like that. Start this week. Hopefully, clean up our mistakes from the last game and we come out there ready to play. Now, what I will say that's weird about Bo Nix, he just all of a sudden wants to become a quality quarterback in the fourth quarter. And we have problems with holding on the lead. So definitely we need to score as many points as I don't want no random walk down. That would be incredibly and I don't
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Bo Nix does do that. He does randomly decide in the fourth quarter. He turns into literal prime Drew Brees and starts to just go crazy. I don't know how, I don't know why, but hey, it happens, I guess. I don't know how it happens, but it does happen. But moving
and I
on to
know
the
he was
next.
different from when he pressed Sean Payton.
Yeah, literally. Homie pressed Sean Payton on the sidelines and started going crazy after that. So yeah. Moving on to our next game of the week, which is Detroit versus Green Bay. Huge division rivalry game. Detroit obviously coming off a game in which probably we will never ever be able to watch again or ever see again. Let's say that. The Detroit Lions put up 52, and Jared Goff had 89 passing yards. I think it was 89. I know he had under 100 for sure. Gibbs ran for 127 yards. Let's give some of that to Montgomery for fantasy purposes. Let's give some of that to Montgomery. Uh, yeah, they I think they had a punt return touchdown. They just did whatever the hell they wanted to do at
Yes,
this
sir.
point.
Gwinnett legend Khalif Raymond.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, can basically the duo of Sonic and Knuckles continue that dominance against a quality Packers team?
First of all, this should be the Sunday night game, not Joe Flacco versus Sam Darnold. So let's just get that out of the way right now. I don't know
Absolutely.
what the NFL they can flex some other games, but this one they were just like, no, let's watch some prime Joe Flacco and Sam Darnold. Anyway,
Why
Listen,
you saying?
if it
Didn't they
was
flex
Anthony
this one?
Richardson, playing, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with I could watch Anthony Richardson versus Sam Darnold. I'm okay with that. I don't want to watch Joe Flacco.
I don't know, watch Joe Flacco. And if you don't like raw quarterbacks, don't draft them. Anyway,
Simple.
Sonic and Knuckles. This is a matchup that I think will actually go really well for Detroit as long as their defense keeps them afloat. Because one thing Green Bay's done this year is when their offense is rolling, it's rolling from the start of the game. It'll be 3 touchdowns on the first 4 or 5 drives. in the first half, 21 points. Like Green Bay is a very explosive, quick strike offense, and they'll be at home. So if Green Bay can jump out ahead and put the pressure on Detroit to have to abandon the run game and force Jared Goff into more of a drop back game, then I think their impact will be limited. But if Detroit's defense can keep them in it early, I think they'll have a dominant game against the Green Bay Packers. The Packers aren't a good run defense, and they don't try to be a good run defense. Devontae Wyatt and Quay Walker are both dealing with some injury issues, so either they won't play or they'll be less than 100% as well. That's two key pieces of their front seven. And Green Bay wants to play a too high back, a lot of zone coverage. They want to limit the big explosive plays in the passing game, but they'll let you have 4, 5, 6 yards to carry if that means they can limit you in the red zone and Xavier McKinney makes an interception at some point to get the stop. That's basically
Literally.
Green Bay style of defense. So it's built for Detroit's running back duo to have a lot of success. I think they're 26 in the league in yards per carry allowed, almost 5 yards to carry, and this is the best rush offense in the league with the best running back duo in the league, the best offensive line in the league, arguably the best play call in the league. So they all things are pointing in the direction for Detroit to be able to make it happen in a big divisional spot. I expect also for Dan Campbell to be pushing the agenda that, hey, big road game, big division road game. We got to run the football, got to establish the run, got to make sure we're hammering the run game. You already know what kind of coach this guy is. So, to make a long story short, yes, I expect Sonic and Knuckles to continue their dominance against the Green Bay Packers.
So I'm a kind of pivot in the difference. Uh, to answer the initial question, yes, I still think that this aptly named duo can still continue the success that they've been having throughout this entire season against the Green Bay. Now, if the Packers want to, have a better chance of getting a handle on things defensively, yes, you got definitely if you guys could bottle that up and y'all could just focus on just setting, well, not necessarily heat because Jared Goff's been doing really good against the blitz this year, but y'all get a regular 4-man rush and y'all are solid in coverage, definitely create problems. But I want to pivot more toward the man who, as of right now, technically don't know if he's gonna play because if Jordan Love can go, and I'm assuming he's gonna give it a try, I think that he has to play a very sound game. Because while yes, do I do I regard the Lions defense highly? I mean secondary highly? No, because they're still young and they're still really grabby and stuff like that. And the Packers still have a really good wide receiver core, so they match up really well on that front. But at the same time, if Jordan Love is to take care of that ball, that man Brian Branch is going to make the pay. He's gonna do shit to try to bait Jordan Love. And if Jordan Love isn't, if he's not ready for it, and he just keeps trying to just fuck it, somebody down there somewhere, it can get really ugly really fast. So he has to take care of the football. If the Packers want to have a great game, have to take care of the football. They ran the ball really well with Josh Jacobs. I'm expecting them to continue doing that because the Lions front is still a little, let's just say, not the best due to the absence of Aiden Hutchinson still. So I think they could definitely establish the run game, but when it comes to the passing down, definitely want to see what Jordan Love is going to be made of this game. Because if he's just going to keep doing what he's been doing, yeah, there's a high probability you lose the game. Like I forgot what the probability was when you throw 2 picks in the game, but it's not good. It's not good at all. So if he could take care of the football against the Detroit Lions this game, I still feel like they have a great chance of winning.
Hey, Shoot, honestly, I mean, both of y'all made some great points. I think I'm gonna circle around on the point that I do think that their duo will be fine. I think they will, but like again, a lot like what stuck with me is a lot of times, again, arguably best play caller, arguably best, they've got the best running back duo, all that, everything. I think a lot of times and I think what they've done a good job of this year is not getting too cute. But this game kind of is gonna feel like a game where Ben Johnson will get a little cute because division game. I'm trying to make a statement, and he just might. They might start randomly throwing the ball a bunch. I don't know why, but they just might just to prove a
Oh God, whooping they stool like that.
point. They just gonna start throwing the ball randomly for no reason. And as of right now, obviously we're recording this on Wednesday. Jordan Love is a DNP, but we've seen Green Bay go out with Malik Willis and go win a game. Again, that Detroit secondary is food. It's not the greatest. Jaden Reed can go out there, go mix up somebody. I fully expect. Honestly, give me Green Bay, especially if it's a shootout. Give me Green Bay. I think Green Bay is going to win that shootout, especially since they're an offense that can really wants to. We're going to put up 21 in our first four possessions, or we're going to put up 30 by halftime. Like they want to do that, and if that what it comes to, I honestly am going to take Green Bay to win that game. So I am going to go a little bit against the grain here. I do think that, again, their duo running backs will be fine, but I do think that Detroit's going to end up coming just a little bit short, unfortunately. Just a little short. And as for I think this final game, should be the final game. Is it? Or is it not? I have no clue.
Yeah, this the last one.
Last game. And
Unless
we're
you want to
talking
talk about the Tank Bowl.
last game of the last game of or
Actually,
last
there's
game of the
two
week
Tank
that
Bowls.
last game of the week that we will be talking about because we're not talking about that bum ass Tank Bowl. We
There's
got
two Tank Bowls.
there's two Tank Bowls. Oh God. Oh God. All right, but we can talk about the Rams, and I actually like to talk about the Rams now because the Rams they've gotten back healthy finally. It took a while, but they got back healthy. And as we seen, they came out on did they Monday night? Or was it Thursday? No, Thursday night.
Thursday.
They came out Thursday
Yeah,
night.
Thursday night.
They came out Thursday night football and they lit up the Minnesota Vikings. Just lit them up. Puka literally was a coin flip to play, and Puka had a career game. It was hilarious. Puka had a career game, and he literally was borderline not even. He wasn't even supposed to play, but he played. That Rams offense looked to be in sync. They were able to do whatever they wanted to do. Sean McVay was able to, call great plays again. Didn't have to worry about trying to throw the ball to fucking Tutu Atwell or anything. Stafford looked sharp. Just everything looked good. Um, Especially now with the Rams getting healthier and potentially making a run at still in that division. Hey, what's happening? What's going on? What y'all think the Rams going? What y'all think the Rams going to do? How y'all feel about the Rams?
Interestingly enough, the Rams are 1.5 point favorites on the road at Seattle. Like, not often a team that's below 500 is going on the road against a division opponent and getting points. So I think Vegas really shows a lot of respect for the Rams. Vegas thinks the Rams are significantly better than the Seahawks. I think they're closer than the spread would indicate, but the Rams offensively should be just fine. The Seattle Seahawks defense had a decent start early, but pretty much ever since they ran into Detroit, the defense has been on a nosedive to the bottom of the league ever since. They're having a really, really hard time handling run games, handling in the pass game. It's been a tough on them, and now they're going against a top 3 offensive schemer, play caller, coordinator in the NFL, and Sean McVay. The weapons are all back and they seem to be ready to roll. Rams got 10 days off, while the Seahawks went and got blown out at home against the Buffalo Bills. The Seahawks have already lost 3 games at home. Like, how often do the Seahawks lose like 3 games at home before the month of November? Like, they're really, really struggling in their own building right now. There's no home field advantage. Stafford's a veteran. He's not going to be afraid to play over there. So, yeah, I expect the Rams to continue to keep it rolling. Their division stinks. So they might be the best team in it until the San Francisco 49ers get healthy. And who knows if or when that'll happen. So for them, this is a really, really big game for them if they want to secure their playoff hopes and start to try to really make that push. This is a game they got to win against a beat up and I think a Seattle team that isn't playing with a lot of confidence right now. Like we were just talking about, like Seattle maybe should be on the tank list and start looking for their extra QB1, because this I think the Geno thing is kind of starting to run its course. I think we're kind of starting to see that. And defensively, they just had so far away to go. Like outside of Woolen and Mafe, they really don't have a whole lot of talent. Oh, and Witherspoon, they don't really have a ton of talent at defense. So I expect the Rams to take full advantage of that. Whoever Woolen is at Garden, I expect to have big games. He's not moving in the slot. Puka and Cup are both awesome in the slot, so they'll be eating there. And Kyle Williams will make plays in the run game as well. So yeah, give me the Rams uh
Shit, probably a damn blowout.
31-24 over the Seahawks.
Ooh, 24 is a lot of points.
I mean, I'll go really fast. I brought this team up last week because I know their record wasn't showing anything good, and that's why when we had the segment last week, we talked about teams we feel like they turned it around. I said them because I knew if Puka and Cooper can come back firing on all cylinders, yeah, they're gonna be causing problems because their defense has been pretty decent. Obviously, they're gonna need a linebacker. They had a good linebacker, but decided to randomly trade him. Why we still don't know. But their front seven has been playing really good. Well, not front seven, but the front four, the D line for sure has been playing really good. I mean, Kobe Turner, Fisk, and Young and
And
Verse have
Verse,
all been playing well.
Verse
I
been
mean,
dogging
Verse,
folks.
like once Darisaw went down, I mean, he was kind of giving Darisaw issues even while he was there, but when Darisaw went down, it was pretty
Food.
much hook, line, and
Food.
sinker for them because it was up. David, what's it, David? I think it's David Questenberry. David Questenberry can't keep up with that. Like, yeah, that man is gonna bull you every time.
Jared Verse
He's
came into the
straight
league with
speed
grown
to
man
power,
prime strength, like
He did.
literally.
right
He
off the
did.
box.
So he's not out here playing. So the thing with Seattle is, yeah, I'm also in agreement with. I'm not really in love with the Geno Smith experiment anymore. I get it. He's had some very turbulent tackle play. I will not sit here and act like he hasn't.
The whole entire right side of his offensive line, terrorists. They're on the terrorist list. I think it's
Yeah,
Anthony Bradford and I forgot. I don't know who the other dude is, but y'all suck. Y'all suck.
it it's been very bad. If you want to go back and watch a man continuously run for his life, go look at that. But even still, when he settled down, he still made some very questionable and or bad throws. So I think it's just time for them to try to try to see what they can get in the draft. Granted, I don't think Mike McDonald is going to be fully into tanking. I mean, he traded for the man who used to play for Los Angeles and got rid of Jerome Baker because he's also Mike McDonald's also used to having inside linebackers who are really good at rushing the ball, and Jerome Baker's not necessarily that. He's just more covered. So, but Ernest Jones can absolutely rush whenever he decides to blitz. So it'll be interesting to see if he does anything for that defense right now, or if he's just a piece that is just going to be carry over for next year when he starts to get more of his pieces that'll fit more into his system. But as of right now, I do think that the win streak for the Rams will keep going. So everybody's going to keep heating up. I mean, Corum didn't have the best showing, but obviously at the end of the day, you don't want to wear Kyron all the way down. So him being able to take a decent amount of snaps and carries already is good because if he's able to develop in the way that they expect him to, yeah, he'll be a great number two behind Kyron whenever Kyron needs to get some rest or if Kyron does go down with a knick-knack injury where it's like, all right, Kyron, we'll save you for next week because we're going against the Niners. So I think they're in a really good spot. I'm glad they didn't trade any of their talent. And yeah, I think the Rams also come out of here with a win against Seattle.
Oh yeah, 100%. We're all in agreement here. That Rams offense getting back Puka just meant everything. Getting back Puka, getting back Cup, it meant everything. Again, I encourage everybody to go rewatch that Thursday night football game. Those dudes were on fire. Um, I'm fully in full belief that that Rams team is probably going to take over that division, and they could be a team that teams really kind of don't want to see. You don't want to
They
see the
can dead
Rams.
ass go from worst to first. Dead ass.
Like, and this is a team, arguably, honestly, I would have thought I wouldn't think in playoff team. I thought they were gonna, slightly miss it, but it was like, okay, that's fine. Like, they got a young defense, they got, some pieces that they got to figure out everything like that, and Cup goes down, it looks ugly. Puka goes down, and it's just they get their team back, and it's just like, man, they look fantastic, they look good. I'm definitely picking the Rams. So give me the Rams. Honestly, I'm thinking Rams probably blowout. I think a Rams blowout here. Give me Rams. Like 30 to like 15. I think the Rams gonna put some belt to ass to Seattle. Um, but yeah, that'll do it for the show. That'll definitely do it for the show. Um, great job, fellas. Great job on y'all's takes. Great job. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all comment so that way I know that I can ignore y'all comments. But make sure y'all comment. Be sure because I know Artie and Cam will read them. I ain't gonna read them because I don't like y'all
Oh
like
God. Tell me
that.
how excited you are for Tank Bowl in the comments.
Don't do that. I will make
Who
sure
will
that
have the better Tank Bowl?
I'll make sure you're banned. I'll make sure you're banned. Don't. Do not start. I'll make sure you're banned in my comments. But yeah, like I said, make sure y'all like, comment,
Oh
share,
yeah, whoever
subscribe.
makes it to the end of this video, definitely type in gave him some nuts.
Don't type that. Don't type that. Don't type that actually.
I
Don't
just put
just
it in the
please.
incognito tab before you just start typing things like that. Good lord.
Look, brother, don't do that. Don't do that. That's it. That is funny though, but don't do that. But like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace out.